So if we are going to do this class today, I'd really like to have everyone to have, if possible, a block or a book and a strap or a bathrobe, bathrobe belt or whatever you've got, because we're going to try and use a few props just to give our bodies a little extra to work with. And so, and if you could just come back and sit on the ground in a cross-legged position of some kind. So that could be Sukhasana, or you can put your feet together or whatever you like. And I'm just going to read from this book, the Radiance Sutras. The theme today is holding space. And one of the ways we can hold space together is through our breath. So this is the Radiant Sutras, 112 gateways to the yoga of wonder and delight. So these are the sexy sutras, actually. So this is the first sutra. The one who is intimate to all beings replies, "Beloved, your questions require the answers that come through direct lived experience. The way of experience begins with a breath, such as the breath you are breathing now. Awakening into luminous reality may dawn in the momentary throb between any two breaths. Exhaling, breath is released and flows out. There is a pulse as it turns to flow in. In that turn, you are empty. Enter that emptiness as the source of all life. Inhaling, breath flows in, filling, nourishing, just as it turns to flow out. There is a flash of pure joy and life is renewed." So on that optimistic note of joy flowing out, we'll just put our feet together here and feel our chest opening. Our shoulders are dropping down. Our hands can be on our knees. If that's uncomfortable, you can just cross your legs, or you can put one leg on top or two or whatever is comfortable. And I'm just going to invite us to put our hands behind us, tender fingers, and press our chest up here and drop our head back. And inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now I'm going to invite you to take your arms, stretch them out in front of you, walk your fingers down, and move your body forward. And in this position, you're going to inhale and feel it go into your side body and your back body, as well as your chest. Inhaling and exhaling. And as we're inhaling and exhaling, we're tenting our fingers, walking them out, and lifting our chest up again, and pressing back into our fingers, opening our chest out, and inhaling and exhaling. When we inhale, we feel our breath fill up our belly, our lower chest, our upper chest. And as we exhale, it's exhaling. We're moving through all of those three different modalities of breathing. We're inhaling with a very big breath, and then we're exhaling. And we're trying to work with Ujjayi breath, which is at the back of your throat. You can feel as though you're polishing a mirror with your breath. It's a kind of throaty sound. So you're inhaling and exhaling with your nose. And there's a throating sound there. Good, and we're going to embrace our shoulders here. And then we're going to move on to our hands and knees. We're just going to do some cat-cow. And this is just to open up our back and our belly and our spine. So we're inhaling with our back arched in cow, and we're exhaling in cat with cat. Inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, and we're going to do this 3 more times. So 1, exhale, 2, exhale, 3, exhale. And on this exhalation, we're going to just lift up into a downward dog. And we can lift on our tippy toes and bend our knees. This is a wonderful stretch for your toes, good for my aging feet. You feel the arches of your feet. And now we're going to straighten our legs and lower down our heels. Now, they don't have to reach the ground, but while we're in this downward dog, we're pressing into our hands and we're pressing into our heels. We're pressing the thighs back. We're feeling the weight of the tailbone as it weighs our legs down, our heels down, but we're also feeling that oppositional force of our hip bones moving up. And you can imagine my hands pulling back on your hips so that they're rising up a little bit further and also moving back. And we're pressing into our hands, pressing into our feet, and we're allowing this open position to give us space, to hold space for us to breathe very deeply. We're inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. And now we're going to shift forward into plank and just move forward and stay here for a minute. Now, if this is too much for you, you can come down to Sphinx arms. If it's too much for your wrists, you can use your fists. I'm extending some of our postures just to give us a little bit of isometric exercise, which really helps us develop our muscles and our strength. And now we're going to shift back with on our tippy toes back into our downward dog. And we're breathing here. Once more forward, and then back. Forward, and then back. Forward, and then back. And we're going to come down onto our hands and knees again. And we're going to put our forearms down in Sphinx. And we're going to do the same routine. So we're going to come up into a downward dog with our hands, with our forearms on the ground. And then we're going to come forward into a plank on our forearms. So this is very hard, actually. So if it's too much for you, don't do it. Just do something else. You can go into child's pose, you can do a regular plank, or you can go back into downward dog. And then we're going to come up, push back, and lift our hips up. And then we're going to come forward, and then back. Forward, and then back. And we're going to put our knees down and move back into child's pose and just rest for a moment. Breathing evenly, filling up our back body, our side body, our chest, with big, beautiful breaths this morning. We're going to take our fingertips, and I invite you just to walk your fingers over to the right side and breathe into your left side. You could put your left hand behind your head and lift your arm up so that we're really opening on the side here as we breathe into the left side of our body.
Then both hands on the ground. We're going to walk over to the left. And once again, we're going to inhale and exhale. And we can turn our chest over towards the side and put our hand behind our head and breathe into our very open right body. And now we're going to come back to the front in our child's pose and just stretch out. Feel that beautiful stretch in your arms. And you can take your fingers and really stretch them out on the mat and feel the palm of your hand like a suction cup on your mat. And then you can relax your hands and then you can stretch them out again. Feel your hand like suction cups on the mat. Okay, and now we're going to move forward into another downward dog. And we're going to stay here for just a couple of breaths. Lift our right leg up, bring it forward, and reach for our nose. And raise it and bring it back and up. Bring it forward and move it towards your left elbow and raise it up. Bring it forward, move it towards your right elbow, and raise it up. Left elbow, and raise it up. Right elbow, and raise it up. We're going to lower that leg, and we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're raising our left leg up, pointing the foot, bringing the knee in towards the nose, and stretching back and up. Across to the right elbow and up, across to the left elbow and up, and we're stretching our bottom foot down, and then we're going to bring our left leg forward between our hands, then our right leg forward between our hands, and we're just going to fall forward in this forward fold. You can, if you like, you can, depends on where you are. If you're up here, that's fine. Or you can hold onto your ankles and use your elbows to help you fall forward a little bit further as you breathe. You can put your hands underneath your feet if that suits you. And once again, feel that movement in your body that is oppositional. The bottom part of your body, the feet are moving into the mat. Your hips are moving up. And you've either got straight legs or bent. It doesn't really matter. If you've got straight legs, you can really try and straighten them even more. And our head is relaxed here. We're just breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Feeling ourselves move into the day with an open awareness of every moment. Now we're going to just come up halfway lift. And this is a lovely back bend, a small back bend, but a back bend nonetheless. So we're feeling our chest moving out a bit. And now we're going to relax back down here and just sink. And with both our arms rising up, we're inhaling and looking up, and then hands in prayer position and down by your side. So we're just going to stand here for a minute in Tadasana and feel the work that we've done in our body already this morning. And I want you to just shake out all of your limbs. This is a good adrenal drainage. I like to think of myself in terms of plumbing in the morning. And so this is a helpful exercise in just draining the adrenals, apparently. I've heard from many people. All right, and we're ready to do our sun salutations, and we'll just go, I'm going to be guiding you with the breath. So we're at the top of our mat, feet facing forward, and we're going to look up and inhale, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale. inhale, right leg back, knee down. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, plank, and then chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, and up into a back bend of choice. I'm doing an upward dog. You could be doing cobra. And now I'm just pressing the tops of my feet into the ground and the palms of my hands. And I'm allowing the breath to open up my chest. I'm feeling my collarbone moving forward a bit. And I'm really pressing into the tops of my feet. Okay, now you can turn your feet under and exhale, moving into downward dog. We'll spend 5 breaths here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lifting the right leg up. We'll move it between our feet. Left comes forward. We exhale and forward fold. We inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, back knee down. Lift up. Exhale, plank, and then chaturanga. Inhaling in our upper dog or our cobra. And exhale, turning the feet under, back into downward dog. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale the left leg up and bring it forward between our hands. Right leg, forward fold, exhaling. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Okay, so we're warmed up. I feel a bit of tapas or heat, and I'm feeling quite limber now. So let's do a couple more variations on sun salutation. So inhale up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back. And we're going to look up. Inhale and exhale here. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to put our hands down and we're going to lift up the toes of the front foot so that we are stretching out our heels here. And we're going to move forward. We're going to lift the back heel up, the back knee up rather, and move into a low lunge. And then we're going to come back onto our foot with straight legs, and we're going to straighten out the front leg. So we'll just move forward into a low lunge here with our back leg straight, front leg at 45 degrees, and then back again here. I guess that's 90 degrees. Okay. And then here we go, forward again, straighten that leg out, and then move back, and you can lift the heel up. And this is a lovely stretch in your hamstring on the front. And here we're stretching the front hip and thigh on your back leg. Once again, we're moving back here and forward, back and forward. Okay, good. Now we're going to put our hands in front of us and move that leg back so that we're in plank again. And we're just going to rest here for a moment. Now we're going to go back into downward dog, exhaling. lift our right leg up and bring it forward between our hands so that we are in a low lunge. And we can wiggle our feet around so that we have a lovely straight line. Our knee is over our ankle, and we are stretching our back leg straight. We're actually pressing through the heel of the back foot. And now we're going to come back with a straight leg, and we're going to straighten out our front leg so that we're balancing on our heel and pressing into our heel, pressing down to the back foot. And we're moving forward into a lunge, and then back, pressing into our heel, forward into a lunge, and back, pressing into our front heel, and forward. Now we're going to just bring our leg back into a downward dog. You can adjust yourself here, and we're going to stay 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're just going to walk forward to our hands, fold over, and just suspend ourselves here. We can use our hands in the crook of our elbow to provide a little bit of weight here. And we're just breathing easily here. Once again, we're feeling the energy in our legs. Our feet are pressing into the ground. Our weight is balanced between our toe mounds and our heel. We might rock back and forth trying to find that space of balance. We can lift our toes up and stretch them out. We can feel the arches lift, the energy move into our legs. We feel the hip bones moving up, and as our upper body is just relaxing down. So I love the oppositions of yoga, the way our body can move in completely different directions with completely different temperaments at the same time. Okay, we're going to drop our arms down and then lift them up and come all the way up, inhaling. Good. Now we're going to do a few standing postures now. So we'll just, I'm just going to rearrange my mat a bit. And I've got several blocks here. In case you need them. So we're just standing, I'm standing on the long edge of my mat, and I'm going to take a step out about 4 feet, or it's quite a wide stance actually for the warrior 2. So we're taking a wide stance out, and while I'm doing that, I'm feeling the rotation of my thighs outwards. It's external rotation here. And I'm feeling the top part of my body moving up and my shoulders opening out. My shoulder blades are like little wings, and they're moving down my back. Okay, we're lifting our arms up, straight out, and we're turning the front foot to the front of the mat and bending our knee. And I'm turning the back foot in at a diagonal that suits you. And the object here is to feel the upper body lengthening as you move down, 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 down towards the ground. And your back leg is straight. You're pressing into the outer edge of the back leg. You can lift your front toes and press into all the toe mounds and the heel of the front leg. And we're just staying here in this impossibly fabulous posture. There we go. And now we're going to stretch that front arm straight out and extend our arm down. You can put it on your thigh if you like. You can put it behind you. If you have a block, you can put it on a block. I'm going to just leave it here. And then I'm taking the upper arm onto a diagonal. And while I'm doing this, I'm using this opportunity to press into my thigh, open my chest up towards the ceiling, and look up
towards your upper hand. Once again, we're breathing deeply. We're returning to our breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. And now I'm going to push up, back into warrior 2. And then I'm going to straighten that leg. And I'm going to just drop my front arm down into Trikonasana. And here you find the space you want to be. I'm feeling a length between my ribs and my hips on both sides of my torso as I'm moving down. Dropping my hand down and then raising the other one up and looking up. Inhaling and exhaling, feeling that air come in my nose. The Ujjayi breath makes that funny breathy sound in the back of my throat. And I'm exhaling. And now I'm coming up, bringing my feet in and facing the long side of the mat, hands on your hips. And you can put your fingers in the hip crease and just fold forward with a straight back as far as you can. And just hold here with a straight back. And then you can drop your hands down. Now, you may want to put them on blocks here. Or you can put them on the floor. You can wiggle your feet in or out, however feels comfortable. And I have straight arms here, straight back. And once again, I'm breathing into my chest. Now, if you have your hands on the ground, you can just walk them forward and with a straight back, rest your palms on the ground. And while you're here, you're feeling the elongation of the spine forward, as well as the lengthening of the hamstrings. And I'm pressing into the outer edge of my feet here. And I'm feeling my hip bones move up, my sitting bones move up. And this really helps me with my groin elongation and my hamstring. Okay, and we're going to walk over to the right side and clasp the ankle or the shin or whatever you can manage and move our body towards that leg, however much you can. Often when you're breathing, the inhalation allows you to lift up a bit, and the exhalation, you can move down. And now we're going to walk the other way to the other side and hold on to our feet, our shins, or keep your hands on the ground, whatever suits you. We're not symmetrical. You have to respond to your body, which is your best teacher. And here I'm just lowering down in this little twist and breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And now I'm going to come up. I'm bringing my hands between my feet and bending my elbows and putting my head down. Now I have a block, so I'm going to put my head down on the crown chakra, which is right at the tip top, on the block. You can put it on the ground if that works for you, or you can just forget about this entirely. But here I can use my hands to push into the ground, and I can feel a little bit of weight on the tip top of my head, but not very much. It's more just a sensation of massaging the top of your head. And from here, you could, if you were really limber, just lift your feet up into a tripod headstand, but we won't do that today necessarily. But this is where this posture goes. All right, now you can lift your head up, move your block aside if you have one, and wiggle your feet in until you're comfortable, and put your hands once again in the hip crease, and we'll come up with a straight back if you can manage that. And now I'm moving my feet in a bit and extending my left leg out, my left foot out into warrior two on the other side. So it's just descending down here with my left knee bent. I'm straightening up the back knee, feeling the rotation, external rotation of my thighs, feeling my arms move out, straight out, good. So now we're inhaling and exhaling here, feeling the liberatory fierceness of this warrior pose. We all need a bit of warrior in ourselves. And feel the tingling of our fingers, pressing into the back heel, and feeling our chest open so our breath really moves us internally and externally. As we move down a little bit, perhaps. And now we're going to stretch our left arm straight out in front of us, drop our forearm to our thigh, and move our upper arm over on the diagonal. So we're just holding here and turning our chest towards the ceiling, looking up at our hand. Our drishti, or focal point, is a useful thing in yoga because it helps us prepare for meditation, although the asanas themselves are a form of meditation and very good for us. And now I'm going to push up and straighten that leg into a triangle and extend my front arm out, drop it down to my shin, and then raise the other arm up in triangle pose. Looking up here. Extend down, and I'm going to just go back here, sliding my arm down the back and curving my top arm over my head. And I'll just move down into triangle again, and then move back into this variation of the peaceful warrior. And now I'm going to wiggle my feet to the front and move them in. And I'm going to shake everything out and feel the exhilaration and the heat, the tapas of these standing poses. All right. Now we're going to just move down to the front of the mat and do one of my favorites, which is pyramid pose. So we're facing the front of our mat, hips are front, and we're stepping back about 3 feet, back foot on the diagonal, and we're once again tipping forward from our hips straight back. And feel, well, while we're doing this, we're with my right leg is forward and I'm pulling back with my right hand on my hip, so it's moving back. And then I'm going to fold over. Here you can have blocks if you like, or you can use the floor. And I'm just going to hang here, suspended. There's a lot of work in the lower part of the body because our legs are straight, we're pressing into the ground. We can lift our toes up and then spread them out. And now we're going to put our left hand right beside our right foot, and we're going to revolve our torso up. This is called revolved triangle. And we're going to look up here. Breathing here. And we're feeling with each breath, our body rotate slightly more towards the rear wall. If you don't feel that, that's okay too, because this is a very demanding pose. Okay, and when you're ready, you can push into the bottom hand and whirl around to the front. This is a kind of careening posture. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm stepping back with my, oops. This is right, what was I doing here? I can't remember what I was doing. Okay, that's right. Okay, so the left foot is front here, and the right foot is back about 3 feet. Once again, our feet, front foot, our hips are facing forward towards the short end of the mat. And we are just tipping over, extending down with straight legs, pressing into our feet. And then we are falling forward. Now we're not symmetrical. And I'm hooking my left thumb into my left hip and pulling it back to feel that hip extending back while I'm pressing into the outer edge and the inner edge of my back foot. And I'm going to put my hand down. Now on this side, I do need a block to do it properly. So I'm going to give myself a little elevation here, make space for myself, and press into the block and revolve into revolved triangle pose, lifting that upper arm up and moving my torso towards the back of the room. My front hip is moving back. And we're just going to breathe here for 3, for 2, for 1.5, and for 1. And we're going to push into that block or the floor and rotate back up. Good. Once again, you're going to I'm just wiggling my feet, wiggling my hips, doing a few hula hoop exercises here, just to get the movement flowing in my body. Okay. Now, we'll do a couple of standing poses here. So you find yourself a place to stand. We're going to just do a 3 pose and a stealth warrior 3 possibly. So we're just going to lift our right leg up. Once again, we're breathing. We're finding the drishti, which is a point in front of us that we're focusing on, which will help us with our balance. Lifting our right knee up, extending our right leg out to the side, and then to the back, and then to the front, and then to the side, and then to the back. And here we might tip over a little and extend our foot out if we can, and do a little stealth. I'm holding onto the wall, so I'm cheating, but you might be able to do this on your own. And then I'm going to lift the knee up, and I'm just going to put it down again for a minute. I'm going to lift the knee up. I'm going to use the hand to help the foot into its inner thigh position, but you could rest your foot on your shin, on your calf. And my balance is extremely bad on this side, so bear with me. But I'm just standing with my hands in prayer position. You might have them above your head. You might wave them madly above you like a willow tree in a blizzard. And now I'm going to raise my leg up and then just bring it down. Okay, we're going to do the same on the other side. Lifting your left leg up and moving it to the side, rotating it to the back and to the front, rotating it to the side and the back and the front. And if you like, you can extend that out in a warrior pose, warrior 3, if you can manage, pressing into the back heel and extending your arms forward if you can. And now I'm going to just bring the knee in and place it down. And now I'm going to pick my foot up to the inner thigh and stand in tree pose, pressing the outer hip and the buttock and the foot into the thigh. So the energy is moving in 2 directions. And I've got a focal point and oops. And I'm just pressing into the ground with my feet, opening up my chest. You can lift your arms up if you like. And I'm breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And now we can just raise our arms out, lift our leg up, and put it down, and lower our arms. Good. All right. So one of the things I think we'll do is for a bit are a few back bends on our stomach. So you can just lower yourself down, however you like, onto your belly on the mat. And we're going to do a few lovely exercises for our shoulders. I just want you to tent your fingers so that your arms are out in a kind of stop sign formation. Your forehead is on the mat, and you are just going to push in on the upper part of your foot. Push those into the ground. Push the pelvis into the ground, and lift your chest up, which is very nice and open here. And then we're going to roll down. So we're lifting up with an inhalation, and we're rolling down. Lifting up with an inhalation, and then we're rolling down. Now I'm going to invite you to extend your shoulders out, and you can put you can look towards your left hand, and move your so that your right hand is flat out, stretched out on the ground. And I'm tenting my left hand here, and I'm lifting my left leg up, and I am now moving it over my body. So this is a lovely twist. And because my arm is extended behind me, this is a lovely stretch in my right shoulder. And I'm just here breathing and resting here. Then I'm going to extend my leg up and extend that arm out, elongate it, and then tent my right hand here and press into it as I elongate my leg and drop it back over towards my left arm. So once again, this is a lovely twist and a lovely opening in your shoulder. And I'm just breathing here, resting here. If this is too much, just move into a child's pose, or you can go into Shavasana. I'm just inhaling and exhaling here, and then moving back onto my belly. And from here, I'm going to just elongate my arms beside my torso. My palms are up, and we're going to move into a lotus here. So we're already quite prepared with some back bend work. So we're just going to lift our shoulders up, and our head and our hands, and extend our arms back, and feel the opening in our chest as we lift our legs up. And point our toes, press our pelvis into the ground, and feel the extension of our arms as they move back towards the back of the room, and our feet, and our chest opening as we breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Now we're going to come down and cradle our cheek in our hands so that it works like a pillow. And we're going to rest here for a few minutes, breathing, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. Okay, now we're going to just push up here and move our right leg forward into pigeon. So we're going to do some lovely work on our glutes here and our hips. So I've got my right knee forward. The full pose is you have your foot out like this with your leg out at 90 degrees with your foot in dorsiflexion, but that's really difficult to do. So I point my toe and have it on the diagonal here. And you can really feel your chest opening up. And as you press into your hands and feel that back bend. And also I feel a lovely opening in my back, front, hip and thigh. And my right glute is also engaged here. Now you can come down into that Sphinx pose that we had our arms in earlier. And you can also, if you like, lower down and put your forehead on the ground. Now there's no right way to do this posture. They're just variations on a theme. If you feel you get more out of the back bend here, just stay up here. Or you can move down if it's comfortable there. And we're just going to rest here for a few moments. The work that's done simply by staying in a pose is very useful. Although the way our muscles work, it's useful to come up and then move back into the pose because it allows our muscles to kind of reconfigure themselves and perhaps move a little bit more deeply into the posture. And I'm just inhaling and exhaling. Now I'm going to just stretch that. I'm going to come back up into that lovely back bend. I'm going to extend that foot back and put the left knee forward on the diagonal into that nice pigeon and extend the back leg back, pointing the foot. Okay, and the front foot is also pointed. So I'm up here, and once again, you might try some blocks to give you even more height here. You want to make sure there's no pain in the lower back. Now I'm going to move down to forearm, inhaling and exhaling, feeling the lovely pigeon. And I'm extending my arms, I'm extending my arms forward and putting my head down and just sinking into this pose. If you have any pain in your knees, you should come up. And you should feel moderate stretch in various places. You need to challenge yourself, but not work yourself into painful postures. Okay, we're going to come up again, and we're going to extend that leg back, and we can move here into a downward dog and just stretch it out a bit. We can lift our right leg up and bend our knee and bring it forward again so that it's in front of us. And then we can take take that and move it so that our knee is raised, our left leg is extended, and we're going to just take that foot and cross it over our left leg. I've got my right knee up, and then bend the left leg into a seated twist. So I've got my legs twisted around here. I'm getting my belly all organized behind my knee, and I'm extending the opposite arm. So I've got my right knee up, and the left arm is stretching up. My whole torso is moving up while I tent my fingers, put it behind me, and push up to give me more height. And I'm turning from the bottom of the torso around. Then I'm dropping my arm towards my thigh and using that like a lever to give me added movement. I'm moving with my breath. So I'm inhaling, feeling myself rise up, exhaling, feeling myself turn. Inhaling up, exhaling, turn. Inhaling up, exhaling, turn. And now I'm rotating around to the other side. I'm just putting both hands, tented fingers on the ground, and just giving myself a little twist in the opposite direction. And then I'm moving towards the front, extending both legs out. And I'm going to lift my left knee up, cross it over to my opposite thigh, and bend that foot. Extend the right arm up, my left knee's lifted, and rotate, 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 moving up and around, and dropping that arm down to give myself a twist here. And I'm moving around and twisting in the opposite direction with tented fingers and feeling that upward movement as well. And now we're coming back. We're going to sit in Balasana and pushing our feet out here. We're feeling, this is actually a very active pose. We're feeling the energy moving up. Our shoulders, our shoulder blades are going down the back. They're like little angel wings that move down. And feeling the chest open up, the collarbones move up. So that it's very open and we're breathing here. And you can press into your hands here and really feel that movement up and pressing into your feet. So this is a very active pose. It looks like not too much, but it is a very demanding and active pose. And we're just breathing here. Very good. And we're going to bring ourselves forward, forward, forward. You could have a belt here if you like. So you could be holding onto the belt with a straight spine. And then eventually you're just going to fold over. And you can hold onto your feet if you like, or your ankles, your shins. You can use your elbows to help you move forward. And all the time you're breathing. So the breath helps you extend your torso forward towards your toes as you're moving down. Now, if you're in this full pose, some of these yoga people, they extend their arms out beyond their feet and then they clasp their wrists. So that's something maybe for another time. And I'm just inhaling and exhaling here and feeling this extension and the elongation of the spine as I move down and forward. And now I'm going to come up and bring my right leg in into tree pose, turn my torso towards that foot and extend the torso down towards the long foot. And I'm just folding over here and breathing, inhaling and exhaling. 3, 2, 1. And with every exhalation, you can feel yourself letting go, holding space for yourself. Now we're going to come up, and I'm extending my other leg out and putting in this case, my right foot in my thigh, and I'm twisting slightly towards the extended leg so that this is a bit of a twist, and I'm moving forward. You can hold on to the outer edge of your front foot with your hand if you like, or you can use a belt. And here, and once again, we're not symmetrical, so we have different muscular configurations and bones on each side of our body, and we are moving forward and down with our breath. And as an older body, I have, formerly broken ankles and broken wrists and strange shoulders, etc., etc. And all of this is the story, the narrative that helped shape my yoga asana shapes today. And I have to honor those 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to come up again and bring our feet together and extend them out. We're going to move on to our back, roll down slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. And now we're going to roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae, with our knees bent and forward, and then we're going to roll back down. And we're going to roll up again and roll back down. Up. And here we're going to move into boat pose. So we're extending our arms, palms facing each other. We're going to lift our right foot up and then put it down, left, down, right, down, left, down. And I'm going to lift both my legs up, but you can keep on with the one foot. And I'm just going to rest here in boat pose, Navasana. And I'm feeling no strain in my lower back. I'm extending my toes out. I'm extending my arms. I'm making sure my shoulders are moving back towards each other. And inhaling and exhaling. 3, 2, 1. And I'm bringing my legs in. And I'm just going to hold them and rock a little bit here with my knees caressed by my embrace. A little self-love here. Okay. Now, maybe we'll do that one more time because it's hard. Okay. So we'll lift our feet up and our arms. We're going to just do one more boat pose. It's really good for your core and it's really demanding. And if we were doing Pilates, we'd be doing hundreds and it takes longer. So we're really getting out easy in a yoga class. Okay. We're just inhaling and exhaling. Once again, extending. Jai breath. And then bringing our legs in and embracing ourselves. Good job. Excellent work. So you can put your feet flat on the ground. We're going to roll down again, vertebrae by vertebrae, very slowly. Taking 5 breaths, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Okay, you can just windshield your legs over from one side to another. We're going to move into bridge pose here, another final back bend. Pushing our feet into the ground. We can hold on to the outer edge of our mat, or we can straighten our arms. And as we lift up, lift our hips up, we press them up. We are going to move our shoulders under our body, extend our arms out, clasp our hands, and really feel that upward movement of our pelvis, our chest. Our knees are moving towards the opposite wall. Our thighs are moving up. Our buttocks are moving up. And we're pressing down into our shoulders and into our hands and forearms and our feet. And we're breathing here. Our chest is open. 3, 2, 1. We're extending our arms out and rolling down slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. We're resting here. Full inhalation, a full exhalation. And we'll do the bridge one more time, pressing into our feet, clasping our hands, moving our shoulders under, and pressing up again.
with our hips, our buttocks, our chest, our thighs, and we're going to bend one knee into our chest and lift our foot up. The sole of the foot is facing the ceiling, bend that knee, place it down. And once again, the left side, bend the knee, lift the foot up towards the ceiling, bend the knee, and put it down. We're going to extend our arms out, roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, and then bring our legs into our chest and do a bit of roly-poly here. If you like, you can do happy baby. Hold on to the outer edge of your feet with your arms inside your knees and press your thighs towards the floor with your feet. And you can massage your back this way. Get your sacrum on the ground, massage your sacrum, which is the flat part at the bottom of your spine. And now I'm putting my feet on the floor and extending my arms out. I'm going to drop my knees to the left, and then I'm going to pick them up and drop them to the right and lift them up. And this time I'm going to shift my hips towards the right and drop my legs towards the left. My bent knees. And I'm looking out at my right hand extended. And I'm using that back arm like the second hand of a clock. I'm coming down and I'm lifting it up and moving it back down. And then I'm going to use my right arm and I'm going to move it around with my shoulder on the ground. And if there are any sticky spots, if you find your shoulders very painful in a spot, you can just lift your arm up above the floor. But I'm moving my hand around and I'm rotating my head towards my opposite arm. So I'm moving back and forth like a clock. My right arm is circling around my body and it moves and I turn as it meets my left, extended left arm. And once again, I'm moving back and then I'm moving around the other way. And I'm going to come back with legs extended and then I'm going to shift my hips back towards the center, move my hips towards the left, drop my knees towards the right. And here you can, if you like, you can hook your top leg underneath your bottom leg, and that gives you a little bit of extra something or other. And you can put your hand on that knee that's near your right arm. And here I'm rotating my extended arm like the clock, lifting it up if there's pain in the shoulder, lifting it off the floor, and then rotating it around, lubricating our shoulders, which are very complex little structures there. You need a lot of tender care. Then I'm going to move my feet back, planting them on the floor, my sacrum on the floor, and I'm just going to center my body a bit, and I'm just shaking it a little bit, shaking my body all over, raising my arms out and shaking them, raising my legs out and shaking them, raising my legs up and shaking them, my hands up and shaking them, moving my head from side to side, really feeling the relaxation spaces that are opening up in your body. And now I'm going to extend my legs out in Shavasana. You can put yourself seated, you can put your legs up the wall, you can roll over onto your stomach or your side, whatever makes you feel good in Shavasana. This is final relaxation. And I'm just going to ask us to do a little bit of a body check. Do we feel any tension anywhere? Are our hands loose? We can flex our fingers a little and loosen them up. Is our jaw loose? We can lower our tongue into the bottom half of our jaw.
We can feel the skin on our forehead loosen. We can feel the skin on our scalp loosen. And we're just inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And I'm just going to leave you here for a few moments in silence as you hold space for yourself and your breath, letting everything go, feeling the depth of that letting go. And as you're moving out from your relaxation, you can feel a tingling in your feet and in your hands. As you breathe, you can imagine your body as an empty container. You can breathe into all the nooks and crannies of your body. You can breathe into the sides of your body, into the front of the body and the back. You can fill your whole body with breath, right to the toes, the fingertips, the tip of your head, the tip of your nose. You can nourish any emptiness within with your breath and with love and connection with all of those here on the mat and with everyone out in the world. So as you're inhaling and exhaling, you can bend your legs, move onto your side, push yourself up into a seated position, and you can open your eyes. And we're just going to say one Om together as we're sitting with our chest open, all of that beautiful breath that's been moving around our body, lightening our load for the day. And we're going to inhale and say, Om. We'll do it one more time. Inhale. Om. And one more time. Inhale. Om. And I'll greet you as you move into your new day. The teacher in me honors the teacher in you. The student in me honors the teacher in you. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for joining me today.